Ireland and Australia, folks. I think that was a little bit tighter than it was predicted to be. 22 points to 19. Ireland have to come back late in the final 10 minutes to take this one away from the Wallabies. Dominated possession, dominated territory, 3-1. Deserved winners in the end, the Irish, but they made to work for it from the Aussies. So encouraging signs potentially for the Aussies ahead of the Lions tour next year, that they can go away from home to this fortress in Dublin and still give them a good run for their money. But to be fair, the Irish, some handling errors, man. Some pretty bad hands at times. Although good defensive Wallabies pressure, man. Guys like Fraser McRae threatening it to break down constantly. And the Irish line-out still a little bit creaky, but we'll go through some of the key events and the stats that you guys can let us know your thoughts on how this final test of 2024 went. Obviously, Joe Schmidt up against Andy Farrell always made things a little bit tasty. I think the results fitting in that regard, that it was a close one. And 150th year celebration for the Irish lads. They got to wear a commemorative jersey, which was pretty slick. I feel like it looks better than the regular Irish jersey, but what do I know? It was all Ireland early, all the possession, and that was going to be a theme for the game. Andrew Callaway's kind of right hand ripping the ball out of a scything Hugo Keenan, the only thing that probably kept Ireland off the board early, but it was the first points to the Wallabies. They managed to get themselves a penalty after the TMO came in for a McCarthy high shot on Valentini. The Aussie commentators wanted a yellow card for that one. Penalty only, I guess, was fine for mine. So 3 points to 0 for the Wallabies, but the Wallabies had an issue a couple of times in this game with the restarts, and this first restart was no different. They conceded a penalty pretty much straight after. The Irish lads ended up knocking it on, so there was kind of a let-off, but there are some teams, I feel like the Wallabies are becoming a little bit like that. The Scots are a bit like that. Just that lack of the ability to just take the restart and securely exit the thing. I don't know. It just can become a costly habit to be forming. So certainly ahead of the Lions tour, that's that kind of extra set piece that you want to work on just on kickoff receipt. First couple of Irish lineouts were either stolen or at least messy ball. Yeah, and it's been an issue the last few weeks for the Irish lads, and it was also an issue for this one. So another thing for ahead of the Lions tour. Who are going to be the locks? Who are going to be your jumpers? Who's going to be your hookers? You're going to have to get the line-out throws on song. But yeah, again, first try goes to the Wallabies. And it's that man Suaalii who helped set it up. He's going to be big ahead of the Lions tour. I'm talking more about the Lions tour than this actual game. We talked about him in the preview, about how you can just send this guy, Joseph Suaalii, to chase high balls. And they absolutely did it. They kicked the ball into the Irish 22. It was Jake Gordon with the high hoof. And Suaalii is able to tap it back. It's scrappy. Callaway is able to go close on the right wing, but the Irish defence holds. But the next phase, as they shift left, Jorgensen is able to go over on the left. Tom Wright with the try assist. 10 points to 0 for the Aussies is a pretty good start away from home. But that's the final try scoring for the Wallabies. They would have chances, especially on in the first half, that they did not manage to convert. Second TMO intervention, because the first one was for the McCarthy high tackle, comes in for Valentini with a leading forearm. After a restart, basically forearms Mac Hansen. That one leads to the Irish guys not opting for a 3, and it pretty much leads directly to a try. So we just talked about that. Kickoff receipt for the Wallabies becoming an issue. This lack of a straight kickoff receipt and exit directly leads to a try. So Valentini, from the bobbled ball from the restart, gives away a penalty, which gives the Irish guys a shot to maul it. They are able to get it on the second crack, go on mauling advantage. They shift it wide to Van der Fleer, who's got the power from close range. Pretty shanked conversion from Prendergast, but 10 points to 5. So all that Aussie work to get that 10-point lead basically halved with a failure to control a restart. 10 minutes of Irish pressure. To be fair, the Aussie defence held really well. They won turnovers. The Irish hands also let them down a couple of times. And then there's a couple of Aussie chances. Harry Wilson and Nick Frost combining for a line break in the midfield was bizarre, because that's your number 8 and your lock. But They couldn't convert anything from it. And then Taniela Tupou, the massive tie head prop with the one-handed tap into the air, grab, intercept ball. He can't find a support runner, which is also a kind of missed opportunity. Eventually, the Irish guys did concede a penalty under a bit of Aussie attack, which the Aussies slotted. So they did get some points out of it, 13-5. But given the scoreline, you feel like the Aussies would have liked to have done a bit better, given that they had an actual line break in Irish territory. Ireland won a scrum penalty before half-time. The scrums were largely pretty stable. That led to one last throw of the dice for them. But James Lowe ended up being tackled into touch. So, yeah, 13-5 lead at half-time. Certainly solid enough for the Wallabies. The Irish have got a big job to do to come back. Their position's been 50-50, but territory 67-33. Big issue for the Wallabies, just getting out of their own half, man. And the Irish line out, it says 92%, but I think that's only registering one lost line out, but it was scrappy. Those numbers don't do that quite justice. The Aussies have conceded a couple more penalties. Second half starts with the Irish shot at goal. Bit of a change in tack. They actually went for poles for a change, which is a good start to the half. It's a better strike from Prendergast as well. 13 points to 8, so back to a one-score game. And the Irish relentless pressure just really kicks it up a notch in the second half. The Aussies were living off absolute scraps in the second. With a little bit of let-off from the early kind of waves of attack when Gibson Park puts an up and under through. It's just a bit deep. There's nobody chasing it. The Aussies are able to mark it. But the second one from Prendergast for Keenan was way better. Keenan was able to contest that properly. That one led to Irish retaining the ball. Led to a bit of Aussie defence giving away a penalty. And then again, if you're going to give the Irish lads a chance to attack the goal line from 5 metres out, they're going to take it. You're worried about the maul, as you should be. They don't maul it. It's a slick line-up move. The ball pops out to Doris, who basically scores next to the sticks. And suddenly Ireland have gone from being half-time deficit to being 2 points in front, 15 points to 13. That being said, they did concede a couple of penalties. They gave away one on 54 minutes, no clear release. The Aussies took the lead back, 16-15, and then another one with McCright winning one at the breakdown meant it was 19-15. So good response for the Wallabies, seeing as they've had no ball. But that's the final scoring, and there is still kind of more than a quarter of the game to go. The Irish lineup still got nicked, like one of them got nicked by Nick Frost. And to be fair, good on the crowd for giving Ken Healy a good standing ovation when he came on. Late in the piece. Record breaker in terms of Irish caps. They don't really get on top at scrum time with his addition, but still good on the big man. He's been an absolute servant to Irish rugby. But yeah, 10 minutes to go. What can Ireland do? They get held up on 70 minutes. They are knocking on the door. Kick through not long later, 72 minutes, means Tom Wright has to sweep through and basically take the ball into touch. It's not the same as the last time in that it was a penalty for the Irish guys going to touch this time, but it's still a 5 metre line out. What are Ireland going to do? McCarthy in his, is it second cap or third cap? Second cap? Over from Maul time, slick as you like, and then a conversion from Crowley from the sideline, 22 points to 19. That's the game. That's the game. Australia have to chase it. They bring on Ed Med for his debut. No pressure on him. Basically gets HIA within his first couple of minutes. Felt sorry for him. But, the Irish defence forced errors from the Australians, trying to desperately try and steal this one away from them. Couldn't get it done. Australia had one last chance with a line out on halfway. Went through some phases, but I don't think they even made it into the Irish half. So really, really struggled for possession and territory in that second. The stats: possession finish at 57-42. Second half was 68-32 to the Irish. They had all the ball. Territory finish is 66-34. They spent most of the time in the Aussie half of the field. Run meters, though, 350 to 312. 350 to 312. So the Aussie guys cracked through almost as many meters with way less ball and way less territory. So there are some encouraging signs there. Defenders beaten, 18 each. So again, that's encouraging for the Australians that they seem to do more with less. Clean breaks 4-3 to the Irish. So not a heck of a lot of difference. So for a team which had 42% of the ball and 34% of the territory, the attacking numbers are not too bad. But they just couldn't live with the Irish relentlessly attacking them that long. Ireland had 272 passes, which if I'm not mistaken, is the most they have had all year. They are a team which loves that kind of quick passing game, and they were able to get it going to a degree in this game. I don't even think Ireland hit full straps, to be fair. Like, we've seen them score tries other than kind of 5-metre line-out tries in abundance in the past, but that's the difference maker in this one. Turnovers won for the Aussies, 8-3. So they were able to kind of pilfer some of that Irish ball when the Irish guys were on attack to shut down those tries, which you usually see Ireland score. And also, the turnovers conceded 21-15, so Ireland coughed up a fair bit of pill. Penalties conceded is 9 each. Line-up for the Aussies, 9 from 9. For the Irish guys, 19 out of 23. So as I said, a few kind of went a begging. But yeah, final test of the year. Ireland get it done. They retain number 2 spot in the world. For the Aussie guys, it's not a bad tour. It started off really well with the wins over England and Wales. They lost the last couple. There was a few encouraging signs, though, and losses for sure. And for Ireland, there's going to be a fair few of those guys wearing British and Irish Lions jerseys next year. It'll be interesting to see how well Andy Farrell can get them all to gel. But there you go. You guys let us know your thoughts on the game. Speaking of British and Irish Lions, if you want their jerseys, I'm an affiliate of the British and Irish Lions store. So if you want to get a Christmas gift or something, Black Friday sales, check down in the description. There will be deals to be had, I'm sure, on British and Irish Lions gear. But you guys let us know your thoughts on the game. How did you think it went? Final test of 2024. Final stupid o'clock wake up for me for a little while until the Six Nations. But yeah, you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.